Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
Dante's Boxing Nation. I'm over here with my man Jonny. Big fan over here at the Boxing Mayweather Club. Always here. Very knowledgeable boxing fan. What's going on, Jonny?
What's going on, Dante?
All right, man. Me and you, we always talk boxing when we over here. Let me go ahead and ask you about some of the recent trending topics right now. You got, let's start with, did you hear about Terrence Crawford possibly fighting against Felix Diaz next?
Terrence Crawford.
Because HBO, they approved it. It's not official, but that's one of the possible opponents for Terrence Crawford.
I didn't hear about that, but that's a really good fight. I'm really digging it because Felix Diaz was an Olympic gold medalist, and you also got that can go on Terrence Crawford.
What do you say? Terrence Crawford. Hey, Terrence Crawford versus Felix Diaz. They said that might go down.
I think Terrence gonna stop.
That's my dude right there.
Terrence gonna stop him.
There it is.
Not even in the next 10 years. No one beats.
There you go. You heard it from my man Soda, aka Soda Pop.
Yeah. I think Terrence is a lot more smarter in the ring than Felix Diaz. I think Felix Diaz is an aggressive fighter, so I think it'll be nice when he comes forward with on Terrence Crawford and he takes his time, because it'll be a variation of punches, and it'll be a nice look for Terrence Crawford, and I think he'll get it. Yeah. But I do want to see him. Fight one more fight and 140, and I would like to see him move up, you know.
But I say this too as well, Jonny. I mean, considering the fact that Felix Diaz, it could be argued he beat Lamont Peterson. He just beat the former undefeated Sammy Vasquez. So if Terrence Crawford gets that fight and he goes in there and dominates Felix Diaz, that would be a hell of a statement.
It'll be a big win.
And you know, for the people who try to, say that Terrence Crawford, he fights nothing but small fighters, which sounds completely ridiculous, because we know he just beat the fighter that everyone asked him to fight, which was Victor Postal. They said he was ducking him.
And he won it convincingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know, I could give Victor Postal like one round, maybe two, but Terrence dominated, and no one really seems to
give him the credit he deserves for that.
He deserves, and he's unifying the division. And he's unifying the division. So he's making it. So he's doing what everyone wants to see done in boxing. He wants people to unify the division and then move up. I feel like that's what he's going to do. He's going to unify the division, have all the belts, and then move up.
Yeah, I think there's only one belt left. Is it the dude Troyansky or something like that?
Yeah. I think after the Felix Diaz, you'll probably fight Troyansky and get that belt.
Yeah. I mean, but once again, this just goes to show you, because there's not a lot of fighters out there that are willing to face all of the best challenges out there, the best opponents possible. And you see Terrence Crawford, he does it over and over again. He don't turn down nothing but his collar, right? I mean, because Felix Diaz, even though, because Terrence Crawford, a virtuoso type of fighter, no one expects him to lose. He's going to be the favorite no matter who he fights, especially at 140. But once again, you have to give anybody credit that's willing to jump in there with Felix Diaz and go in there and end up dominating someone on that level, so that's impressive. Now let me ask you about Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman. What do you think about that fight?
Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman. I really like that fight too, and I do think people are underestimating Danny. I'm still picking Keith Thurman, but I do think people are underestimating Danny, because if you look at his resume, it's proven, and people can say cherry pick this, cherry pick that, but he did fight names, and like Guerrero, I think he's kind of washed up, but it's a big name, and it's a nice win, and he just got to the division. After also, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he also unified 140, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken,
he might have won another belt, but I'm gonna have to look that up though. So
I'm picking Keith. I think Keith has the overall better boxing ability, and I just think Keith is stronger. But I feel like Keith can also get caught with that hook, and people sleep on Danny Garcia's hook too. Sure, it's not powerful. Sure, he's not as powerful as what people think, but he'll catch you with that hook, and it'll make you think. Anybody that can hit you and has a glove and is able to get in the ring can hurt anybody at any given moment, and especially someone like Danny as an underdog, it's going to be dangerous. So it's going to be a really good fight, and I'm expecting Keith Thurman to pull it out.
All right, Adrian Broner versus Adrian Granados.
Adrian Broner versus Adrian Granados. Adrian Granados actually has a really good resume, even though people don't look at see. Oh, he's got like four losses. they're gonna be like, yeah, but they were highly contested losses, and also he fought the guy you just mentioned,
Amir Imam.
Yeah, Amir Imam
And Aaron Martinez too, right?
Yeah, and I think he fought Felix Diaz too. Yeah, and sure, he got some losses on his record, but he just beat an undefeated prospect. A high prospect.
Knocked him out.
Yeah, almost. I wouldn't say like Errol Spence, but people were high on him like Errol Spence. If you know what,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
And also, I think he's a pressure fighter. He's gonna come forward and throw a lot of punches, and that's what Adrian likes to struggle with. But I do think Adrian, if he isn't in good shape and he's ready for the fight, I think Adrian will beat him, and I think it'll go to a decision. I think Adrian will get it 8-4. But I'm really looking forward to that fight, and I think that's one of the best fights they made, and a lot of people sleep on it.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Adrian. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some fighters getting hurt in that fight, because as aggressive as Granados is, he could walk into some stuff. And like you said, with Adrian Broner being a counterpuncher, that gives him a lot of opportunities to let off a lot of counter shots. Yeah. So it'll be interesting, man.
And you also got after those losses that Adrian took, after those aggressive fighters, Adrian got something to prove too, you know. So
of course
he's gonna come, he's gonna catch him with counters, and you know Adrian's gonna try to put him to sleep. But you know Granados, he wants what Adrian has. He wants the fame. So that's a dangerous fight. And it's a really good one too.
Really good one. And if Adrian Broner wins that fight, it's a good look for Adrian Broner as well. And it's a much better fight than Broner versus Ricky Burns, because Ricky Burns, he's been losing a lot lately. So, you know,
and Ricky Burns didn't look so good his last fight.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why, you know, Granados, he deserves that shot too, you know. So, well, anyway, man, well, thanks for your time. We'll be chopping it up with you some more. Jonny, anything else you want to say?
Follow me at JONY_BOYY1007 on Instagram, and that's my Snapchat. And keep up with Dante's Boxing Nation.